What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show. We discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, and stimulus check update. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on new YouTube videos that come out here on our channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's completely free to subscribe. And we're less than 100 subscribers away from 400,000 subscribers. So make sure to subscribe down below. When we get to 400,000 subscribers, we're going to be doing another giveaway here to our community here, probably a few days afterwards. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below. Also, thanks for hitting the like button for us down below. Congress passed several bills yesterday. Several of them. Here are the details. Here we go. Okay, first up, number one, the Senate passes a resolution supporting Putin war crime probe. Yeah, this is interesting. The Senate last night passed a non-binding resolution supporting a war crimes investigation into Russian President Vladimir Putin for his invasion of Ukraine. The resolution, spearheaded by Senator Lindsey Graham, a Republican from South Carolina, passed the voice vote after negotiating changes to the resolution with also Republican Senator Rand Paul. This was a bipartisan joint venture. Graham, in a statement, said that he was very excited that the resolution passed and that the United States shall do all we can to aid this investigation by providing information and intelligence to the court in a timely manner. The next step for me to work with our British allies and hopefully others to create an intel cell that will make available to the public Russian military units engaged in war crimes and start naming their commanders. A name and shame campaign is in the making, he said. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, a Democrat, added that the Senate had joined together, quote, to say that Vladimir Putin cannot escape accountability for the atrocities committed against the Ukrainian people. Quote, the legislation that passed today, championed by Senator Lindsey Graham, sends an unmistakable message that the U.S. stands with Ukraine, stands against Putin, and stands with all efforts to hold Putin accountable for the atrocities leveled upon the Ukrainian people. The resolution from Graham throws Senate support behind condemning violence, including war crimes, crimes against humanity, and systemic human rights abuses being carried by the Russian military, encourages countries to petition the International Criminal Court to investigate war crimes carried out by the Russian military and Russian President Vladimir Putin, and formally supports a war crimes investigation. Also from the UK, they're saying, from the health secretary, saying that Putin will be held responsible for war crimes at the ICC, the International Criminal Court. So Putin could actually be considered a war criminal here across the globe here pretty soon, and we'll have to see what comes of that. Also yesterday, the Senate unanimously approved making daylight savings time permanent. Yeah, check this out. The Senate yesterday approved a proposal to make daylight savings time permanent, which, if passed in the House of Representatives and then signed by President Biden, would mean Americans would never again have to set their clocks back an hour and lose an hour of afternoon or evening daylight in the fall and the winter. If this passes in the House and enacted into law, it would also mean that early risers would lose an hour of daylight in the mornings in November, December, January, and February. For example, in New York, under the current law, the sun will rise at 7:15 a.m. on December 21st, the shortest day of the year. If the Sunlight Protection Act becomes law, New Yorkers won't see the sunrise until 8:15 a.m. On the other hand, instead of the sun setting at 4:31 p.m. in late December, which is terrible if you ask me, having the sun set that early, it will set at 5:31 p.m., giving people a little more daylight to enjoy the afternoon sun. Having the day go dark at 4:30 in the afternoon in winter is pretty brutal. It's brutal. Um, yeah, you can let me know your thoughts on this, but this was unanimously approved in the Senate. So it does look like it will be passed in the House. Of course, we'll have to see here, but let me know your thoughts on this. Also, changing the times. Of course, a lot of clocks are changed automatically here with cell phones and cable boxes that are kind of automatically updated now. But it is kind of a hassle. Some clocks are not done automatically. Some people forget about it. They lose an hour, they gain an hour, and it's confusing. Some states don't even do it, like Arizona and Hawaii. And I'm personally for it. I just hate seeing it go dark at 4:30 in wintertime or even 5 o'clock. Having that extra hour of daylight is good. It's having it go dark that early is. There's actually been studies that show that it actually causes depression on people, and it actually will save energy for the whole country in the tune of like many millions, maybe even billions of dollars over the course of the long run, not having to have extra lights on that early. So yeah, because most businesses close at 5 o'clock, so not having to have extra lights on that early. Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Would you rather not have the extra light in the morning? Because a lot of people aren't really at work yet that early, but have the extra daylight in the afternoons, early evenings. I'm for it. I'm for it, and it was unanimously approved in the Senate. So we'll see. We'll see. The thing to note, though, is that if passed, it would not take effect until next year. They said, I think it's important to delay it until November 20th of 2023, potentially, because depending on how it's written and stuff. This is what their quote is: because airlines and other transportation have built out a schedule and they asked for a few months to make the adjustments in their systems, which makes sense. And they said, quote, and this makes sense, pretty much everybody in Rhode Island, for example, here experiences the same thing on that unhappy day in early November, when suddenly an hour of your daylight disappears and dusk comes an hour earlier. Yeah, I know. It does darken our lives in a very literal sense. And by the time you get from November, when we fall back to the shortest day of the year in December, the 21st, we have sunset in Rhode Island at 4:15. It means everybody is driving home. If they work regular 9 to 5 hours, they're driving home in the pitch dark. Yeah, it's pretty rough. Also, lawmakers are backing President Biden on potential economic penalties for China if they decide to back Russia and provide either economic, financial support to Russia or weaponry support to Russia, as there are new reports coming out that Russia may have already asked China for support. There's a lot of reports going on here that from the U.S. Directly that they think that Russia already asked China for support because Russia's not doing well over in Ukraine. Things are just getting kind of dragged out for Russia. They weren't expecting this. They were really expecting to take over Ukraine in a matter of days. Or even just, they were expecting Ukraine to just probably lay down their arms and just surrender probably, or take them over really pretty quickly. And now at this point, the whole world mostly has really just turned on Russia. The all of Europe basically has turned on Russia. The United States has turned on Russia. The financial sanctions on Russia has crippled them. Their dollar, the ruble, has just collapsed. Their stock market collapsed before they shut it down, and things just major companies all across the world have just pulled out of Russia. They don't have much left. They don't have much left. So they went to their only major ally, if China will even back them, and probably ask them for help. China has been a little mum on whether they're going to help them or not yet financially. But China has kind of said, as you can see here, that China wants to steer clear of the U.S. sanctions over the Russian invasion. So China knows better here. It says, quote from the Chinese foreign minister, China is not a party to the crisis, nor does it want sanctions to affect China. Yeah. And it says that China has the right to safeguard its legitimate rights and interests. Yeah. Now, China has said that they will maintain normal trade with both countries, which is okay from China's point of view, but providing financial support above and beyond that to Russia, the U.S. and the European Union says is not okay. Is not okay. And China has kind of come out and said they don't want any sanctions because, well, they know that that could severely impact their economy as well. So this may be an early indicator of whether or not China is going to side with Russia on this or not. Now, there is some speculation that Russia could, or China and Russia could do some things where, Russia could try to cash in or turn in their Chinese bonds, which is billions of dollars, which they have the right to do so. Whether or not that would be considered providing financial support. So there is some kind of maybe workarounds here, whether or not that would be considered, what that would be considered, yeah, it's tough to say, right? If somebody goes to cash in a U.S. bond, I mean, that's kind of their right. It's tough to say here when you get in the middle of these things, right? The kind of good news here, though, is that Putin is really kind of feeling the economic pain financially. They've even admitted this, that over half of their assets is frozen. They can't access it. And we had a U.S. military senator. Was he a senator or was he a representative? He was a member of Congress on the show here a couple episodes ago, and even he was saying that the amount of troops that they have that are actually fighters is not enough to actually occupy the invasion and to hold cities. They just don't have enough troops to be able to hold Ukraine. They just don't have enough. That's why they're trying to get troops from other, like Syria and stuff, to bring in. They just don't have enough troops to be able to hold Ukraine. So how do they actually win this? And it's looking more and more bleak for them going forward to actually win this war. And that's actually good news for Americans and the rest of the world when it comes to us financially, when it comes to the price of oil, the price of gas. And if you've been noticing, the price of oil has come down dramatically. In fact, right now, the price of oil is actually around $100 a barrel or under $100 a barrel. WTI crude is at $97 a barrel, and Brent crude is at $101 a barrel. So remember that Brent crude, the high was at $139 a barrel. So gas prices have not really come down yet. but they should be. That's the problem with these gas companies, right? Is that it takes so long for actual gasoline to come down, and that's where we see these lawmakers want to actually tax the oil companies because they're gouging Americans, and they want to tax them and use that tax money to give it back to Americans in the form of stimulus checks, because this is exactly what they're doing. Oil's gone down $30 a barrel now, or even more, and yet the price of gas is still the same. So why is that the case? And this is almost something that should be done because they're taking advantage of Americans. And this is why we have state governors stepping in now to try to get rid of state gas taxes. The federal government is considering this as well. We have multiple stimulus check bills, if you've been watching my channel here, because the government is trying to figure out how to help out the American people with stimulus checks, with repealing gas taxes on the federal level, on the state level. There's actually multiple different things that they're trying to do, trying to figure out what's the best path forward, because these gas companies are literally taking advantage of us. Literally taking advantage of us. And they're just raking in the billions of dollars, billions and billions and billions, and laughing their way to the banks. So yeah, let me know your thoughts here. I will keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country. Make sure to click the subscribe button down below. If you haven't yet, it's completely free to do so, and I will keep you up to date. Remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click here to watch my newest video next, and you can click here to see the new video on the potential $1,100 stimulus checks that would be for everybody, low and middle income. That was just came out here like yesterday. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.